Welcome to Ziro Studio tutorial. In this video, we will teach you the concept of variables in Python. A variable is something that can be used to store any value. To explain this concept, let's code some examples. We will use the Hello World example that we wrote in the previous video. And as you can see, if we run it, it will print Hello World in the console. So let's erase it. So now let's modify this code to use a variable. Let's create a variable called str, but you can choose any name. Let's use the name str to store our string hello world. And what you can do is use the variable str in our print statement. Now, if we run this, we can see hello world prints in the console. So this is how we can use a variable. What is the advantage of a variable? We can actually change the variable to something else and print it. So if I change this to hello new world and erase this and run it, it prints hello new world. So that's how a variable works. Now let's use variables in a 3D robot example. So for that, we can use the default code that we get with the Studio. It simply gives it a speed and makes it go forward for a certain amount of time. So here's a question for you. What are the things here you can use variables for? So there are two things. One is the speed, and the other is the time the robot moves. So let's just use two variables here. So for speed, let's just call it speed. Equals, instead of 100, let's maybe go at 70. And for time, let's use t. Let's make it go for 3 seconds. Now let's replace the fixed values with the variables. Speed for speed, and t for time. All right, so now let's run it. And as you can see, it is going at a slower speed 70, and for only 3 seconds. So we used variables in our 3D robot example. Now we'll give you a 2D robot exercise to do on your own. If we go to the 2D console, you can see a white line drawn by the 2D robot. So your exercise is to make the robot draw a red line instead. For that, here's a hint. You can look for a function to do that in the help menu and use a variable for the color. Hope you have fun with this exercise and feel free to play around with variables. In the next video, we will look at functions in Python.